All right. I think we are live. Hi, everybody. Good afternoon from West Africa. Let's give everyone like 5-10 seconds to join, and then we'll get started. In the meantime, if you're on the call, please take the YouTube link and share with your friends, your neighbors, your community, and let's get everybody on the call as we have one of the first of its kind Binance P2P AMA session with so many team members, from the P2P side. I have a whole lot of people on the call with me. We're going to start off with introductions, and then afterwards we'll head straight down into the conversation. This call is basically set up to help our community understand, the workings of the Binance P2P product, how to the best involved in using our Binance P2P product and how to stay safe, while using Binance P2P. So without any further ado, I'd like to start off with introductions. Everyone on the call will take 5 seconds to tell us about themselves and what they do at Binance and what they hope to achieve at the end of the call. So let's start with Olubumi. Please go ahead.
All right. Hello, everybody. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are watching us from. This is Binance Africa. My name is Olubumi Fabanwo, and I manage the affiliate program for Africa. And I think that this is a very, very important program for our affiliates and every other person, every other Binance user. So I'm glad to be here, and I hope to learn and also be able to impact my affiliate and every other person in the Binance ecosystem and outside. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, Bumi. Let's head straight to David. David, if you can hear me, you're muted.
Hello. Hi, everyone.
Yeah, we can hear you.
You can hear me. Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is David. Dispute analyst for Binance Africa. Glad to be here, and I'm glad to be able to, put your mind to rest on any issues you have surrounding trading on P2P on Binance, and any further information that you need. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much for being on the call, David. And we have a member of the CS team on the call with us. Do you want to do a quick intro, and tell us why you're here?
Hello, everyone. My name is Yavuz. Good afternoon, good evening. So I've been working in Binance for a couple of years with various roles, and currently I'm from the CS team for the P2P. I'm really honored to be here today, and then I would like to share some tips, and also we would like to share some common disputes, how we can avoid kind of unwanted situations in Binance P2P. So Ben, if it's okay, I will start right now, or maybe we can just continue to introduce.
Sure. 1 second, and then we'll get started. We have the last but not the least person on the call. Sheon, please do a quick intro, and then we go ahead.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening from here. I manage operations and growth for Africa, and I'm really excited to be here. Basically, I feel elated that we have another opportunity to help you improve on your understanding and also basically bring you in from the world go into the crypto space. Attend to all of your major concerns, and then we can take it from there.
Great stuff. Good to have every one of you on the call. This is going to be an exciting one, like I mentioned earlier. Why? Because we got members of the team, key members of the P2P team with us to, share and, revalidate some of the ideas we've been sharing in the community on how to stay safe while using the Binance P2P product. So to kind of like an overview of what the conversations will be about, we are going to be starting off, talking a bit on, the Binance P2P product. Exactly, kind of like an overview to understand what is this product for those who might not have heard of Binance P2P. We'll show you simple steps to completing the transactions on Binance P2P, how an ad on P2P, how to, have like the 5-star ratings, how to be how to have the best experience, trading as a buyer or seller on Binance P2P. We'll do a very quick run through on, becoming a merchant on Binance P2P. We'll talk a bit about the merchant programs, and then we'll dive straight down, to FAQs. We'll also have a very brief session with with Yavuz, who is here to share with us, some of the findings and some of the things you should look out for, from CS when collaborating with CS to resolve complaints. Some of the things that CS are on the look for to make sure that the escrow system is as safe as possible. We'll wrap up somehow at the end of the conversation by taking, by answering questions that have been thrown in. So prior to this call, we asked for, our users and our community to send in questions that they would like to be answered. So if you did not do that, earlier on, there's still no stress. We'll still make room, to answer some questions live on the call. So I say, without wasting any further time, let's do the first point on the agenda. And this is to be handled by Sheung, the business growth representative at Binance P2P Africa. So Sheung, take it away. Talk to us about Binance P2P, steps to, completing transactions on Binance P2P, and how to make an ad on the P2P product.
Okay, thank you very much, Ben, for that introduction. I'm just going to share my screen right away, and we can jump into it. Okay, confirm you can see my screen, guys.
Yeah, we can see your screen.
Okay, good. Thank you again, everyone, for joining.
You might want
like we said,
to slideshow.
Sorry.
You might want to push it to slideshow so it's in presentation mode.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, thank you for joining once again. Like we said earlier, do not keep this information to yourself. It's going to be very informative. Please feel free to share the link with your friends and your community. Let them also join, learn, and ask questions. And let's all get started, especially for those that are joining our series or our session for the first time. So Binance P2P, I'm sure a lot of you have heard about Binance, and that's why you are here. And for Binance, there are so many things you may know about us. We are basically an exchange platform. But the entry port for most users is the P2P. If you don't understand the P2P, then it's difficult for you to get started. It's about the easiest entry point for you into the crypto space. Now, P2P simply means peer-to-peer. Peer-to-peer in the sense that you are able between yourself and another person. Basically, let me put it in a very simple context. You have a pen that you want to sell to somebody. You are in your house or wherever you may be. There's someone else in another location that needs a pen. And then what does Binance do in this instance? We bring both of you together where you put your pen forward for sale, and the other person who needs a pen is able to pick it up, buy it off you, and then after making payment. So Binance basically provide that platform. We are not part of the transaction, but we ensure that the transaction happens in a safe and the fastest manner. As much as possible, we want to make sure also that there could be disputes or arguments or disagreement at any point in time, maybe for pricing, for whatever reasons, Binance is also able to stand in gap to ensure that the trade happens seamlessly. Now, what we do in that instance, now let's take it back to the crypto space. Someone has a crypto, maybe Bitcoin. Everybody is very familiar with the word Bitcoin, and you have some money in your account where you want to interchange. You have money which we call fiat, and you want to get some Bitcoin. Binance basically does the serves as the mediator, the escrow service. The counterpart that has the asset, which is the Bitcoin, basically brings it up on Binance platform, and you are really available to purchase. Once you indicate that I want this particular asset, which of course you have set a price which you want to sell it, the other person picks up because they are in agreement with the price you have set. The moment you set it, the person selects or decides to buy or trade with you, Binance escrows. Binance take away the asset, the crypto, away from the seller, and keeps in an account which is safe until both of you are able to say, I have received the fund, until the seller is able to confirm to you that, okay, I've received the fund that this person needs to pay to complete this transaction. And you, as the buyer, also, you're happy. So once the buyer confirms that he has received the full fund of the value he has put forward as the amount he wants to sell his asset, then it notifies us by just tapping a button, and Binance releases the asset, which is the Bitcoin, to you, and the trade is completed. Now, this is the very simple process. It's not supposed to be complicated, and that is why we are trying to enlighten you on this, that it's very, very simple. The easiest platform and the safest platform to complete this is on Binance. You are not only able to buy Bitcoin, you are able to buy USDT, Ethereum, DAI, BNB, USD, BUSD, and NGN. Now, these are different forms of fiat currencies you can trade in. A Nigerian, for instance, has Naira in his account, and there's another person that has Bitcoin or is willing to sell USDT. You basically just need to come to the P2P platform in Binance, and then you are able to do this exchange. You convert your money from your bank account. You pay the money from your bank account to another person's bank account, and the person releases the asset right on the Binance platform. Now, there are different use cases for the crypto space. In the crypto space, different people use it for different purposes. But like we said, we want to let you know that you can actually, aside just trading, there's also opportunity for you to make some profit when you do this basic buying and selling. Just like a regular person that goes to the market and buys any item, either in bulk or in bit, and is willing to resell it with a little margin. These are basically one of the things you can do. Now, the first thing, like I said, is the entry point, the fiat gateway. You have some money in your account, and you want to convert it. You want to be able to use it to trade in the Bitcoin space. It's simple. You just need to register on the Binance platform, complete your verification, complete your KYC, set up your banking details, and you are able to do all of this in just a matter of hours. And after you have completed all of this, you can then begin to use funds from your account, depending on no matter how little it is, 1,000, 2,000, for instance, depending on no matter how little it is. When you get on the Binance platform, there is somebody that is available, that is willing to take that little value you have, either buy it or sell it at every point in time. And that is one of the things we pride in Binance, the liquidity, the availability of buyer and seller at every point in time when you want to trade. And then the profit making is the point where, after acquiring as much as possible, then you can then begin to sell with little margin and you make some profit. So one of the things why one of the reasons people basically jump at coming to Binance is because they are even able to do all of these things sometimes without any additional fees. Most of our markets in Africa, you are able to buy and sell crypto with zero fees. So we basically just provide the platform for you. to you for you to understand, convert your fiat currencies, for your fiat currencies to crypto, and either save it, keep it in your wallet, which is safe, or till the time where you feel it is most profitable for you to resell it and make some little margins for it from whatever you have traded. And this slide here gives you a direct insight on what the Binance platform looks like. This is the dashboard from the mobile app. If you have a Binance app, for instance, and you go on the P2P interface there, you basically see different people who have posted ads, and you can see from this side there are different values there. You just basically also need to get on the platform, set your own price that you feel is going to be competitive enough with the ones you are seeing already on the dashboard, and then you wait for somebody to just select on your advertisement, and then you sell. It's that simple. We are still going to get to the I'm still going to move us to the point where we do some hands-on and real-time experiment of how this works. There are other people that use the P2P platform for remittance. Maybe you have people overseas across, from Nigeria, Ghana to UK. You want to pay for a particular item you want to buy, you want to pay for school fees, for whatever it is. You are able to use the Binance platform, and trades are completed within 24 hours. You agree with me that the local and the traditional way of moving money across different regions right now, first, the delay in time is something you have to deal with, and then you also have to deal with the exorbitant fees that you have to pay to complete those transactions. But hey, with the Binance platform, you are able to do all of this with the fastest possible time and also at the most competitive rate, which definitely you cannot get anywhere outside Binance. And that's one of the reasons you need to get started and get into the details, to begin to start experiencing, to begin to start navigating, and the whole P2P space. And from there you can then begin to gravitate into learning so many other things you can do. So one of the things we said we wanted to address is we want to take you from the word go to the point where you are able to buy, sell, post ads, and then make profit. Now, what you need is you download a Binance app. The moment you download the Binance app, you set up your account, you do the Binance setup, you complete your identification verification, which is very important. You complete your SMS authentication, and then set up your payment method. Now, we have talked about you being able to move money from your account, somebody being able to pay money into your account, or you able to pay money to another person's account. That is the reason for all of this. If you do not complete this setup and put in your banking details and complete all the necessary verification and security authentications that we have put in place, it becomes very risky and unsafe for you to trade on the Binance platform. So it's really important that you complete all of these stages one after the other. And then once you do that, the next thing for you to do is to get into the actual trading. The ideal thing at that point in time is you want to buy because you don't have anything, you are just a newcomer. So what do? You want to start with the smallest value amount of money. Now look at this point. There are different people like you that started like you at some point who have acquired different assets. And then at this point, they feel that there's need for them to either liquidate their funds or try to make profit from what they've purchased in the past. Then they put up adverts. Now, this particular person is saying is willing to do trades within 30,000 naira to 3 million. This person 100,000, this person 500,000. You see as low as 1,000 naira, depending on whatever currency, fiat currency you trade in, and depending on the region you are. So you see people willing to trade as low as possible. So you don't have to be a billionaire or to be mega rich before you get into the business of crypto. You need to start. It's okay for you to start small and then grow with time as you begin to understand how it works. So once you get on this platform, on your mobile app, for instance, because I assume that's where most people are comfortable to trade, you see the buy feature, the buy icon, you click on the buy, you select what you want to buy. You want to buy BSDT, BSU, BUSD, BTC, USDT, BND, DAI, Ethereum, and any other one you feel like you feel you want to trade on. You just select it. Once you select it, you see a list of people that have posted ads and are willing or waiting for someone like you to just click on their trade, on their advert that I want to buy. Now the moment you click on buy, you see all other necessary details. Now there are a few things we always encourage users to do. It's not just okay for you to jump on the Binance app to just click and then go ahead. It's important that you look out for a few information. One of the things I've said is the limit that the person you want to trade with is willing to buy, both the minimum limit and the maximum limit. You just need to keep scrolling till you find somebody within the range of transaction you want to do. It's also important that you look out for the percentage or the completion rate of the person. Now this number here is not fictitious, it is real. This person has 99.36% completion rate. So this person is a very good person to trade with, because this person genuinely wants to trade and wants to trade quickly. This person has completed over 400 trades. So these are the level of information you need or check that you need to do when you want to click on trades, to know, just in form of you profiling the person you want to do transaction with. In the same vein, once you click on the buy feature, this is what you see. You see the value you have. You see the option for you to put in the value you want to buy. You see the amount it is. You see the quantity of USDT you need. You also see below here the person's preferred payment option. This person has selected bank transfer and Kuda Bank. So you already see the terms and condition of trading that the person wants to do. And then the moment you click on it, you place the order. The moment you click on it, you see the banking details. You go ahead, you make transfer, and then you make transfer, and you let the person know that you have transferred. The moment you do that, the person, you come up to this page where you are waiting. It's just counting. You are waiting for the person to release the asset you have requested for. Now when you click on the button that you have made the transaction, the person gets a notification which prompts the person to release asset. Now you see that this is saying that releasing. You are waiting for the person to release the asset you have paid for. Now in all of this, Binance has already taken out the Bitcoin or the asset or the crypto you want to buy off the person's account. So it's no longer with the person. Binance is pretty much waiting for the person to also confirm from their end that I have received. Once the person taps the button to say I have received the value, Binance releases the asset to you. And that is the level of comfort you have trading with Binance. You are sure that the moment you initiate a transaction, from the moment you initiate it, then you become extremely safe, because we already stand in gap as a mediator to ensure that you get an actual value and you are not scammed or cheated on the platform. Now, peradventure anything goes wrong, you are able to click on the appeal button. The moment you tap on the appeal button, we have our CS team, we have our dispute analysts that are waiting to intervene, to ask questions. What has gone wrong? What are your concerns? And then they see through it till you get the actual value or the asset you have paid for. Now on the sell bit, let's assume that you've been buying BUSD, you've been buying BNB, just like this wallet shows. The moment you want to sell, the first thing you go is you open your Binance app, get on the P2P, you click on wallet. Once you click on wallet, you come to this page where you can see all of the asset that you have. Now the next thing to do, you tap on spot and you transfer this to your P2P wallet. So you transfer this to your funding wallet. Now the moment it gets to your funding wallet, then that particular asset, you see that this particular asset is from this place is depreciated, and then you are able to select the value. Now this place is talking about how much of all of this, for instance, do you want to sell. You select if it is maximum or if it is just a part of it. You select it and you confirm. Now, the moment you do all of that, you just come to the P2P platform. You select that, okay, now I have some BUSD I want to sell. You click on BUSD, you click on sell, and somebody was like, you were waiting to buy from someone will be waiting also to buy from you. Now, I was making an illustration that there will always be someone to buy as little as possible. Now, look at this. This person is willing, at this point, this person, you probably willing to sell from the region of 1,000 to 1 million. So there are people also willing to buy depending on whatever limit. Different people have different limits in terms of capacity that they are able to buy from you, and they will definitely, somebody will pick it up. Now, what is important, which you should also look out for, is this, and that's something we are going to get to at some point. Now, look at these prices. This one is 497.20, this is 496.38, and this is 490. People are constantly looking for the best price, and that is why you must have a look at this and ensure that the advertisement you are placing is as competitive as possible, while you are also mindful of the fact that you want to make some margins from some margins for yourself based on what you have bought. Just like you bought a pen at 10 naira and you decide to sell it at 11 naira. Now imagine that you are able to sell 100 pen in a day. It means at the end of that day you have made 100 naira by just buying at 10 naira and selling at 11 naira. That's 1100. The extra 1 naira on it is what makes you profitable as a Binance P2P trader. Now, the next thing is, once you do all of that, you also click on the value. You can see the banking details. Click on the sell button, and then the person, somebody picks it up. Just like I was saying, the person pays into your account, and the next thing you have to do is you need to confirm that I have received payment. The moment you click on received payment, you get another prompt. Once you click on confirm, Binance releases the asset. So it's the same experience from both the buyer and seller standpoint. We basically just try to help you ensure that you are safe. You confirm that you have received value for the asset or the crypto you want to release to the other person before the person actually gets a hand or gets the crypto credited into their wallet. Now, moving to you posting an ad. So as a new user, the first thing you have to do is you need to buy as much as possible. Rather than leaving those funds in your account sitting there idle doing nothing, you can actually get it into an actual trading. Like I said, you can start small. You don't have to start from the very high point. Once you start small, maybe with the smallest amount you think you can play with, or you can take a little risk on, and then you use it to practice all of those things we are saying. After buying for some time, then you come back and say, it's time for me to sell. Let me see how much profit I can make from these little buys that I've made by trying to sell. So you come on here, you go to the top right hand corner on your app, you see the plus feature where you can post an ad. Now, these are the stages of posting an ad. The first thing is you have to select what you want to do. So let's assume you have a naira, you have an asset in USDT, and you want to have your naira back. Now, you want to have your naira back into your bank account, and remember, you have put in all your banking details at the point where you are setting up your bank. You are setting up your Binance account. You put in the value of what you want to sell and the rate at which you want to sell it, and then finally you put in your terms and conditions, and you post the ads. Once you post it, a lot of people begin to see it, and then they begin to, you see that different people, depending on how much volume in terms of your minimum and your maximum, someone that could buy off everything, one person could come around and request to purchase 1 million from you. Another person could come and say, oh, I can't do 1 million. I'm only able to do 10,000 out of the 1 million maximum capacity you have. And then they basically come up, they take it, and that is where you start making your margins. Now, remember what I said. You buy a certain amount of money, you put in little margin that keeps you competitive in the marketplace. Once somebody buys from you, you make some margins, you make some money. If you do that repeatedly over and over, then you begin to count your profit as a P2P trader. And this is what a lot of your friends, a lot of your colleagues that you see that are constantly on the Binance app, we have people that do this as a way of survival. Like, this is their basic means of income. We have people that do it partially, that have their regular 9 to 5, and they still find some time, maybe while in transit from work, post some ads, buy some asset, and resell it at some convenient time to make some profit. And they do this over and over and make some money, and you start wondering what, how, and where this person is making money. Crypto trading is as legit as you buying regular stock in regular market. Now, the same thing, once you post the ad, somebody jumps on it, picks up what they want to do, you sell, and that is it. Now, there are other additional features on the Binance platform. Now, I said that you will probably need to go and select trades from different ads. Now, one thing you can do is you can leave comments. You can leave comments to every trade, and people would also leave comment to you as additional features. Just like these are the things that basically helps you to build your credibility and your personality on the Binance platform. People begin to look at the feedback you get from the previous trade you have done. Are you a good person to trade with? And then those feedback endears people or attracts people to come and trade with you, and that is when you become to do as much as possible trades, and then your profitability increases over time. And that's also the point where you start thinking about to increase the funds you are currently you will probably turning around to be able to accommodate and do more trades in terms of capacity. Now, another thing you can do is, once you post an ad on the Binance platform, you can actually share on other platforms so that it can attract people to come and trade with you on the Binance platform. Now, one other thing you can do, which a lot of people do, is you can also trade on our Express platform. There's the Express feature. Maybe you have you're not ready to scroll through all the different ads available. You just click on the Express platform, you put in the value you want to sell or you want to buy, and you confirm it, and somebody picks it up automatically and just pays into your account using all of the details you have provided. Now, if you need, this is basically important for those that probably wants to complete transaction in a very short period of time, and that's why we call it Express Zone. You don't have to wait for long for anyone to confirm. You just know the people that will pick up your trade once you come to the Express trade. There are people that are willing to buy and pay immediately, and that's another platform where you can also test out. But at the entry point, you may want to have the regular experience of running through different ads just for you to understand how the platform is, and so on and so forth. So pretty much that is what it is. What we expect from you from now is to complete your verification. If you have completed your verification, if you have completed your account setup, just put in some funds aside, try to do some trade, buy some assets, and either for keep or buy some assets, and then begin to monitor the market, begin to monitor the ads that people are posting, and then bearing in mind how much you purchase the asset you bought, you can then say, oh, this should be a good time for me to trade or to actually resell what I've bought, and I can make some profit. It's that simple. It's as simple as it is. And the concerns and the gray area you probably have is what we want to try to take away, and that is one of the reasons we have set up this session. Now, I want to assume that there are a number of people that are already trading on Binance that have joined this call. There's also an opportunity for you to become a merchant. Now, you gravitate from being a regular merchant to becoming a P2P merchant. Now, before you can become a merchant, you must have done a reasonable number of trades. Recall I was showing to you the completion rate of a certain user, the number of trades the person have done. Now, the number of trades you have done repeatedly over time is what helps you to build your completion rate. And then we can also see how many trades you have done over time. Now, the moment you build your credibility, your portfolio, your wallet to that point where we are even convinced that you are a credible person, what we do is we are happy to extend additional benefit to you, allow you post ads for free, give you some discounts on transaction fee, increase your trading limit and withdrawal per day, and also give you exclusive customer support and some other promotions that would be coming up with that will be exclusive to merchants. So if you think that you've been on the merchant on the Binance platform for a long period of time, you have a reasonable and decent completion rate, please feel free to get on the platform. We are going to drop this merchant application link. We are going to drop it in the chat box. Feel free to apply. We'll review it and then we'll consider you based on what you have done historically. Then we can see if you are qualified to become a merchant already. That's it from our side. I will encourage you to get started. Don't just keep the Binance app on your phone. Get started with however little amount. It's actually a good time to get started. It's actually a good time for you to start trading. It's actually a good time for you to start buying those assets. And of course, you can resell them at a more profitable rate in some time in the future. Maybe I should just do a quick demo or show you what the real life dashboard is. Unfortunately, I'm working from my system, so what you'll be seeing is the experience from on a web page, which may be a little different from what you see on your regular mobile app. But for those that of course trade on their on the system as well, these are the experience you will definitely have. Now, so you basically just come to trade here. You go to P2P. Now, these are the things I was explaining in the presentation deck. This is the real life scenario. You can see that there are a lot of people posting ads here. This is under the buy section. You see 6163540444550 and so on and so forth. So the ads go on and on the buy section. So depending on anyone you have bought at some point or you want to buy, there are people that want to sell any asset you may want to buy depending on your location, depending on the fiat currency you have. I just clicked on the USDT. Let me click on the BTC. You see the same thing. If I click on the BUSD, you see as much as possible ads. If I click on the BNB, the same thing is going to happen. You see that there are a lot of ads waiting for you, and also the same thing on the sell section. I think my internet is dragging, but the same thing on the sell section. You see that there are people. Ben, are you trying to say something?
Yeah, I'm trying to pick your brain. There's I'd like to ask. Now that you're on this interface, right? Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you.
I'd like you to show us how the Express feature works, because what we usually do in these kinds of presentation is to share with new users the best, or the easiest, feature to use while trying to use P2P product. Just quickly show us how the Express feature works, and then show us how to sign up to become or to apply to become a merchant from your interface here.
Okay, good. The Express feature, I just need to click on Express, and then what do? I just put, so let me put buy, for instance, because I expect that if we have new users here that have never traded, the first thing you want to do is you want to buy. There's nothing for you to sell. So you can see that there's option of 1,000 naira, for instance. I could do 10,000. I could do 100,000. Now, if you observe, just as I am adding the I've been adding the zeros, the value that I will receive in terms of USDT is also increasing. So if I go ahead and request to buy 100,000 worth of USDT, I'll be credited with 162.21 USDT of crypto asset. So let me just go ahead and say 10,000 and I click on buy. So what I'll do is I'll confirm the purchase. This is the price. So it says this is the best price. The system automatically goes up to get the best price for me. And once I click on the buy, you can see that I have the details of the person I want to trade with. And
so
that's
for
it.
safety reason, I'm going to pull out that screen because we don't want to display someone's personal details,
information,
in
yeah.
public. But that's fine. I just wanted us to get to that point. That's fine.
So that's how
You
simple
can
it
actually
is.
exit that screen. Cool. So now the next question I asked was, show us how to get to the, what do you call it? The merchant, how to apply to become a merchant.
As a P2P merchant.
Okay, one moment.
There used to be a point to apply for it.
Yeah. I think internet is slow.
All right. So Yuvus has actually sent us the link. I think what I would do is
I
to
think I should just send the link.
yeah. I'll drop the link in the chat box, guys. Those of you who I've been seeing a lot of comments in the chat section talking about, oh, you only make profits when you have huge amounts to trade and all of that. And then to go further into that, if you have huge amounts to trade, you've been consistent over a period of time, you can basically apply to become a merchant. Merchants are people who have gone ahead to give us, some, extra commitment to show that they are ready, right? I'm not sure this is the screen.
Yeah, so now ideally this is the link, but because I am already a merchant, that is why the interface is different. But this is basically the screen for you to that's basically the link for you to register and become a merchant.
Great stuff. So I've actually dropped the link on the channel as well. So if you're looking to become a merchant, kindly apply using those links. And you might want to, if you do not hear from us on time, you can reach out to any of us on Telegram, on the Binance Nigeria Telegram, and we would help, assist you with the process. So for instance, you're not getting quick response as you should, reach out to us on Binance Nigeria Telegram. If you're not yet on the Telegram channel, you can as well join and ask questions to the admins as well. Let me see. Sheon, are you done with everything you want to talk about? I see in your part, you're going to talk about the FAQ section of the P2P product. Do you want to talk about that briefly before we jump to Yavuz?
So I think we can take the FAQ basically is are some of the things that I already addressed there, letting you know that I think the first thing to do at this point is get started first, and then the questions will come around. Now, one of the things we said we were going to address is you being able to trade and have the best experience as a trader. There are the things that I highlighted. You need to check out the completion rate of the person you're trading with. Those things very important, because for especially for a new user that is just coming on board, you want to be sure that the person you're trading with for the first time has built some credibility on the platform. And the only way to confirm that is looking at the number of trades the person has completed over time. and also looking at the completion rate. Now, if you go ahead and click on the advert, the name or the nickname of the person, you would also see additional information about the person. Let me just share my screen to verify, just to display that to you guys once again. Now, just not to just jump into trading. The moment you want to get on a trade, and let's assume that you want to get along with this particular user, any of these users, for instance, this person has 95% completion rate, and that's one of the reasons we also encourage you that once you come on board, you also need to try to be best behaved, because and the best behavior we're asking for is simple. Once you get a request that somebody is willing to purchase the ads that you have posted, jump on it immediately, complete the transaction, and then those things are the things that form your completion rate. Now, this particular person, whose nickname is Henry Tevez Exchange, has done 300 plus trades and has 95% completion rate. That's very decent. You can go further to know more about this man, like, oh, who is this person? This person has been registered for over 400 days, has done has gotten 99% positive feedback out of 120 and all of that. So that's impressive. And you know that the moment you decide to trade with this person, you are definitely going to have a good experience. Now, I said something that nothing is too small for you to get started. This particular person has set a limit of 1,000 to 1,006. So for whoever thinks they need so much money to be able to trade and be profitable, I don't think you do. You just need to be smart. You just need to get started, be happy with little margin, and understand there is little drops that will make that ocean you are waiting for. So it's just like you go to buy something in a small shop around your house, and then comparing the price you get it with when you go to the market. So if you choose, and market also vary, there are some small market where you still feel okay, if I go to this other place, I can get it even at a cheaper rate. Now, what you want to try to do is try to buy at the cheapest possible rate and then sell at the point where you can make little margin but consistent profit.
All right, all right. Thank you so much, Seun. I think that's basically kind of like a holistic view of the Binance product. Just while he was explaining, you noticed that predominantly all of his display and illustrations were all focused around Nigeria, right? But there are a whole lot of other places that you can use the product. So all you need to do is toggle, and change the currency you intend to trade with. There's the Kenyan shillings, there's the ZAR, the South African rand, there's the Ghana CDs. There are different markets, right, that you can actually engage in. And we'll talk more about that in the Q&A section at the end of this conversation. Let us quickly, thank you so much, Seun, for that awesome presentation. If you have questions, please type them down and store them. Once it's time for question, push them to us and we'll begin to review one after the other.
Okay,
Might I also
quickly.
add that the Telegram channels, okay,
So quickly,
you want to add anything?
just to quickly address that concern. Now, on the platform, you can see the fiat currency. Fiat, for new joiners into the space, is basically your standard currency in whatever region you reside in or you are trading from. In my instance, is Nigeria, and you can see that I have Nigeria here. Let's assume that I'm in South Africa. I could just put the rand, which is ZAR, and then every trade I'm going to be seeing would be with people that are willing to do to trade in South African rand. It could also be in Kenya shillings. And if I click on KES, that's what I'm going to see. So we have over 80 fiat currencies on Binance, and that's why Binance is the largest and the biggest crypto exchange platform in the world. You have practically all the currencies or all the major currencies around the world available on Binance for you to trade on. Thank you. Let me just drop the mic and let's have other sessions.
Thank you once again, Sean, for that awesome summary. Without wasting any further time, let's go straight to the next session where we would have a CS representative from Binance talk to us about their interactions and experience with the Binance P2P product. On to handle this session, we have um, Yavuz from the Binance CS team, and he's going to spend not more than 10 to 15 minutes to elaborate on this one. Yavuz, if you're ready, please take it away.
Thank you so much, Ben. Also, thank you so much to Sean. Amazing presentation. I think it will be helpful for many new customers to getting used to getting hand on the product. So I'm just gonna share my screen. Just a moment. I think it's looking good right now.
Yep.
Yes, yeah.
All good.
Perfect. So first of all, as a product, I mean, P2P was here for many years, but with the crypto industry, the product has grown significantly. And what we aim in Binance is to create the first risk-free platform in the world. And we are providing various tools, security measures, and also countless of appeals and by the countless of investment in the customer service product to make this idea real. And we have a very detailed appeal system that you can use as a buyer. Also, you can use it as a seller. And then for any kind of a dispute or unwanted situation, our CS team is handling thousands of appeals every day to resolve your concerns, resolve your issues. But as you know, as an arbitrator, our goal is to locate the root causes of your bank transactions and to finalize your P2P orders. So we are investigating each action and evidence with the maximum care to protect your assets. I would like to highlight a couple of points here. So we can start with the most major disputes and issues that we have been facing during like the last couple of years. And also these issues can pretty be avoidable because it always depending on the customer to customer because it's the nature of the P2P. So the two basic issues that we are having is the buyer did not pay it, but click on the transfer next button, and the seller did not release the crypto. So these two issues can happen a lot because of the bank delays, because of the other problems, and we highly encourage our users to click on appeal button because when you click on the appeal button, even before the crypto has been getting locked in the seller's account. So each action actually starting with a secure process. But for us to make the correct decision, if you go to appeal and provide your documents, it can be proof of payment or it can be a proof of statement that you haven't received this amount. And then our CS team just handling the situation, trying to ask you more details to finalize this action. And then we are trying to do this as fast as possible for you. But the main point in here is to provide us the most valuable documents and then providing them in a correct way. So if this happened in the beginning, it will be pretty easy for us to resolve the issue, and also it will save you a lot of time before you completing the order. So another major thing is third-party payments. So this is a pretty common issue, but this can create a lot of problems, not just with your Binance account, but actually with your bank account as well, because the funds you were receiving, if not matching with the Binance account, if it's not the same name, so the funds can be fraudulent. Funds can be coming from some unknown source. And when you receive this money, and then you will say that, okay, I received this, I confirm this amount, and then you're going to release the crypto. But what you were doing is actually can create a lot of issues in your bank, and then your bank can come to you and say you that you cannot use this amount, or you cannot even use this bank account. So these are the really important steps for you to check and then confirm that, okay, I am receiving this money from the same person that has the name on the Binance account. And if you do that, or if there's any kind of a problem, again, the most important solution in here is to go and appeal. And then after the appeal, we can actually take over the situation and to take the strict measures. So the another thing that we've been facing a lot, and also the African market, is that with the mobile top-ups and then a couple different payment methods can create bank delays. So it is a pretty common thing, but there is nothing to be afraid, or there is nothing to be scared about this. As you know, if you go to appeal process, we can actually hold the process for you, and then even for the buyer or the seller, we will just say you that, okay, we will give you a time to finalize this transaction. We can ask you to contact with your service provider, just contact them with the bank, saying that what was the issue, what was the root cause. And during this whole process, your crypto will be locked and safe. So none of the sellers can just run away, or none of the sellers can take an action with your crypto. In appeal process, the whole action will be frozen, and then we will just take the restrictive measures to secure your assets. And then after the transaction has been done, actually we can also finalize the P2P order from our end as well. So another stuff is charging fees. I know this happens a lot, and then this is kind of our on the go terms that we cannot allow any kind of a charging fee in the whole P2P structure. This is not about just in Africa. This can be Latin America, it can be Europe, it can be Asia. The reason that behind is that to our documentation and our systematic process, the every money that you paid will be the same amount of crypto that you are getting regarding with the ratio, regarding with the price. So this is why it's really important to create a clean environment. So if you're faced with this kind of a situation, you don't even need to finalize the action. You can just, when you roam around the market, if you see someone doing this, if you're trying to get a benefit from this thing, you can just report to us, contact with us on chat, and we will try to resolve the issue. We will try to take restrictive actions for the counterparty. But also, if you are planning to trade, you can think that raising the price a bit more if you want to make a profit, and if you don't want to charge this money from directly counterparty, you can actually adjust the price a bit higher or adjust the price when selling a bit lower to make this idea to try to get the profit from directly price. So this is what we support, is charging fee. But anything that you can communicate and then ask from users, that asking extra fee will not be allowed, and then the price should be always the same with the order amount. And the last thing about the common disputes is changing the ad price. So this is kind of a malicious action that can create, but as I said, this is the nature of the P2P. P2P is a peer-to-peer transaction, which you will always be facing with someone else in the other part of the computer, which will be normal human being that try to trade with you. And then, of course, because of the nature, it can create these malicious actions. And our goal is to always trying to make a clean environment, and this is one of the examples. So please make sure that when you completing the transaction, the amount of crypto and the amount of the ratio should be the one that you decided before. So they can change this ad price, and you won't be able to notice if it's in the market process. And once you click, they cannot change the price anymore. But this action is happening so fast, so maybe you won't be noticed after you're getting paid the amount, and after you're going to receive a pretty low amount comparing that what you paid actually. So this is why we highly encourage you to take a really careful note, take a really careful look on what you are paying, how much you are paying, and then how much you are going to get, which you can avoid this situation. If you are not satisfied with the price, you can directly go to an appeal, and then we have our own solutions, own terms that we decide. If the price is more than 10%, if the price is less than 10%, the difference, we are taking different kind of actions for the situation. So again, I just want to highlight again, for any kind of issues, you can just click on appeal, you can go to appeal, and our CS team will easily handle the situations. So of course, as I said, because of the nature of P2P, some disputes, some unwanted situations can happen, but also there are a couple solutions to avoid them. First of all, being careful with the money, because it's a valuable asset for everyone, and also we care a lot about your money. And then our security measures even cannot be reached your personal conversation with the counterparty. So this is why educating, doing the self-education, and trying to be careful with the money, instead of taking a fast action, actually you can just take a deep breath and then just trying to check the informations again will be pretty helpful to have a smooth and seamless transaction in the P2P. And also Sean indicated choosing a reputable counterpart is really important. And especially we highly encourage in here to contact with merchants, try to choose with the people more than 90%, 95% completion rates, and then fast release times, and also with the high numbers of volume, which you can consider them as a pretty reputable part, and then you can actually contact with them, start to trade with them with a pretty ease of mind. And also, if you raise an appeal, which is the best way to solve your issues, make sure you provide all the necessary evidence for us. For example, our CS team can kind of ask you kind of a proof of payments or kind of a video proofs that your bank transactions, which will allow us to make the correct decision. So we will understand, we will analyze, we will just compare everything and just going to finalize your actions. But for us, the most important thing in here is for us to receiving the correct evidence, and after we will be able to make the decision for you. And also the attendance is really important, because we will work by time frames. We will give you couple hours, sometimes 24 hours, sometimes even 48 hours, depending on the unique situation. So your attendance, your awareness is really important, and you will receive an SMS by your phone directly if there's any update in the appeal. So this is why we really aim to get your response for the disputes. And also the other part is exactly like Sean indicated, trying to provide a good behavior will help you a lot in the P2P transaction, because we understand that this is pretty intense, because you are trading with the money with someone that you don't know in your life and you never seen before, and you just relying on our base source platform. So trying to be in a good manner, trying to negotiate and giving the correct situations with the counterpart will help you a lot to resolve the issues. Because if the tension goes higher, and then it will make a lot harder for you to go in a resolution. And even some cases we are unable to verify every action, and then you will just left with the counterparty to finalize the solution. So this is really important. And last but not least, do not communicate with the users outside of the platform. This is really important, because people can come and say to you, please check my Telegram, please check my WhatsApp number, please contact me from there. And then once you start to contact from there, we are going to lose our traction in the order, or we are going to lose our traction, and we don't have any kind of a proof that you can give us and we will accept, because the Telegram conversation records, WhatsApp conversation records are not eligible for us to verify. So this is why it's also from the malicious side, also from your own documentation, you can just say those users like, okay, let's keep our communication in Binance customer chat. We are trading from here. We can just communicate from here. We can just send the proof of payments or checking with us if there is any delay. Please do not go any kind of outsourced platform. Just stick with us. Just stick with Binance customer service chat. So these are the actually what just goes around with the cases that we receive. And as I indicated, the third-party accounts, offsite communications, fake payment proof, or charging fees, because of the nature of P2P, these things can happen. And pretty much with your own care and with your own help, you can actually avoid these situations. But most importantly, if you can just get any kind of an unwanted place, you can just go and appeal or directly contact with us on chat, and then our customer service team will just reach you out and then help you to go through this process as smooth as possible. So thank you so much, everyone. And then I would love to answer your questions after the session. So that's all from my side.
Wow, thank you so much, Yavuz. That was very comprehensive and elaborate. We are coming to kind of like the peak of the conversation, where we would entertain questions, that came in from different users across the continent. But I have like some questions, right? Some of them have been actually reviewed, in Yavuz's presentation. So maybe we'll go to questions that we collected and, ask one by one. I think we collected questions by UID. So basically, let me just ask. I'll bring 2, 3 people on the stage to handle this session. David and I think David and Yavuz can handle this for this question and answer session. So David, confirm to me that you're good to go.
Yeah, we're good to go. Hi, everyone, once again.
Great.
So let's have questions.
All right, sure. So let me start with question from one of our customers. He said, I have successfully transferred using express transfer, which means that the receiver 100% received my transfer, but insists that he has not received the money yet. What should I do?
Okay, thank you very much for that. So in this kind of situation, the first thing is to raise an appeal. If you have made a transfer, and really it doesn't matter if you're going through express or normal P2P. So once you make a transfer for an asset and the seller insists that he or she has not gotten the payment, right? You can, if you have the proof of payment, you can provide the seller with the proof of payment on the chat box of the app, right? If the seller still is not comfortable and still insists that he has not received the payment, then you can raise an appeal. Okay, you raise an appeal, you upload your proof of payment, then we will contact the seller from there, and then try to find out what exactly the issue is. Going through the appeal, we might request for some information from you. We might ask you to provide a video proof of your payment. We might ask you to provide your statement of account, just to be sure that you have indeed made this payment. Usually, we have specifications on how these proofs should come in, which we will communicate to you on the appeal box, right? And then the seller will also have to provide his own statements as well to show so that we can confirm if he truly has not received it. Now, in this situation, if the seller provides a statement of account or a video proof and we go through it and we still find out that your payment has not actually reflected in his account, right? In this situation, then we ask the buyers to, recall their funds, because we've seen quite a number of situations whereby banks will actually make the transfer, but because of network or their connection problem, it won't get to the receiver's bank. Now, your bank will be able to tell you exactly where the funds where the fund is hanging, so they can either recall the fund or make sure or ensure that the transaction goes successfully. During this period, if there's so much back and forth, we usually give 2, 3 to 4 hours for each user to respond to whatever queries that we have on the appeal. So that's it. So you come through the appeal, and that comes straight to CS, and then we take it up from there.
Great stuff. So being that most of the answers are going to be the same, I'll just expect that David takes one, Yavuz takes the next. So I have another question here, still around transactions as you'd expect. So I made the transfer successfully, but I typed the text buy USD. So the seller delays or charges me a fee. What should I do? I think this has to do with payment description, as it might actually indict the parties involved. So in this situation, what do we advise the buyer to do?
Exactly, Ban. This is kind of a really tricky situation because some of the banks in many countries, actually, this is not specifically for Africa, they are not allowing crypto trades. So in your bank transaction, if you indicate something related with the crypto or something related with that you are doing actually an outsourced trade, it can be a pretty problem with the sellers. The seller's bank account can be closed, seller bank account can be frozen. So the first thing that we'll check in here is that if the seller mentioned this on terms, like before trade with you, the checking their terms is really important. And you will see like a good paragraph that the seller has some conditions. They can say that I only work in this during these hours, I can answer late, please do not use these indicators in your payments. So it is really important to check those terms, and then after you can start your trade. So this is why if the seller has indicated something like this, we highly encourage you to charge back your amount. So actually you can just avoid this situation and then try to continue to trade with another person, and also just making a really careful research about what are their terms. Because most of the situations we are unable to complete these transactions, because if we complete and then after we can get a claim from seller that my bank account got frozen. So this is a really sensitive matter. It's a really good question.
Thank you so much, Yavuz.
Hi,
Let me jump to the
Ben.
next.
Can I just say something in addition to that?
Please go ahead.
Okay. So in this kind of situation, if the seller is asking you, to pay an additional fee before it releases, please do not pay such fee. Okay. First of all, like Yavu said, you shouldn't even indicate anything relating to cryptocurrency, and that's typing USDT, Bitcoin, or whatever. Anything that has any crypto that is related to crypto in any form, do not put it in the description. Okay. We've been sending out communications to users. If you're making a transfer, that you can copy the order ID, right? Once you initiate a trade, you will see the order ID. You can copy the order ID and place it in the description rather than putting anything there. Okay. And so in this situation, if you have made the mistake, the best thing for you to do is to recall your funds or charge back, right? If the seller is asking you to pay me a certain fee, pay me some more money before I release to you, please do not pay any more money to the seller. Okay.
If I might ask another question, a follow-up question, there are some cases where the party requesting for these extra fees, they make this request on phone call. So the other party is not able to document, like show proof to CS. Oh, this guy is actually asking me for another amount. So in that case where the other party doesn't have tangible proof, how do we assist them?
So I can
Okay.
ask, please go,
Okay,
please.
Yavuz. Okay. So in this kind of situation, there's no way we can tell because it's a phone conversation, right? And this is part of the reasons why phone numbers are being taken away, so people don't communicate to themselves outside the platform. All right. But in such situations, you can always report it, right? I'm sure if the counterparty is doing that with you at the moment, he has probably done it with someone else as well, and so there's a precedent. I mean, if we can put together those precedents, then we can take an action on the counterparty. All right. So I would still advise you to report it, but we might not be able to take action immediately based on just your own word. But I'm very sure that if he or she has done it with you, he has done it with someone else before. And the person, if you report it and the other person reports it, then we can take action on such a person.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. We are making a highly deeply investigation. So it is 100% correct. Like you can just report to us directly, and after that point, we're just gonna make a deep investigation in the account, and then we're just gonna try to detect the same action from the other users, and then we can just have the proof and take the restrictive measures.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Another question I'm noticing here is a question that has to do with price fluctuation. Look at this question. So let me hide this. All right. So 1 second. Okay. Let me quickly start this. So I placed an order to sell USDT, but the maker's price time is 360 minutes. When the USDT price decreases, they cancel the order. But when the USDT price increases, they transfer. Can I refund and cancel the order in this case?
All right, I can answer that question. So, first of all, in these kind of situations, going into an appeal should be the first solution. And after an appeal process, we have in our terms, we have kind of a qualification that if the price difference is more than 10%, you are allowed to refund because the 10% will be our limit. And then if the difference goes the 10%, you can just refund the amount and then we will just cancel the order for you. But if it's below the 10%, we consider that it is the ranged in the tradable range. So unfortunately, at that moment, it will be you will be able to just you will be able to finalize the action. But prevent these issues, I think the most effective way is to just going into terms and then checking the payment limits or payment time limits for the sellers or buyers. So you can actually trade with the people that in a 15 minutes 60 minutes range, 2 hours range, 3 hours range. So if you want to consider it, and you can just place an order with the much more shorter durations, and it will be just like the finalization will be pretty easy.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you,
Thank you.
Yavuz, for that. Just to add, so the main thing here is you reading the terms and conditions of the person that you're trading with. If the person has stated 360 minutes and you accept to go into a trade with such a person, it means that whatever the outcome, you have accepted. You have accepted it. So in this kind of situation, since you are the seller, and then the maker eventually cancels the order or pays for it only when the price goes up, you have agreed to stay within that time limit, and so you will not be able to make a refund. I hope you understand that. You will not be able to make a refund. You will be asked to release the assets. So always read the terms and conditions of whoever you're trading with, either you are the buyer or the seller, right? If you know the 360 minutes is not convenient for you, you can go with someone that has 30 minutes. And that's the beauty about Binance. There are so many people that have posted their ads. So you don't necessarily have to stick with one person, right? You can go with someone that has 30, 15 minutes, a shorter time frame, all right? So you can avoid such situation.
All right, thank you. I'll go to very technical questions, right? Very, very sensitive questions, two of them, and then we'll take a few others from the chat and we'll call it a day today. So this particular one, let me hide this one. Okay. So lately, I've encountered many cases of money laundering via P2P. And some scammers, I'm not sure this is, actually, for us, but let's look at it in general. Some scammers have taken advantage of merchants on P2P as an intermediary to launder money. How can we avoid these cases? I'd like to first allow Yavuz to give a touch to this, and then David can go ahead.
Thank you so much, Ben. So this is a really sensitive matter, actually. And then for us to make the deep investigation, first of all, we need to receive the reports. Besides the reports, we have our personal algorithms, our personal systems that detect physically these kind of actions. But besides that, if you've been facing or if you've been suspected for some kind of reasons, you can actually contact with us. And at some point, our CS team using a really deep investigation methods to actually reveal the actions, checking the transaction records, trying to locate the value of these orders. And then after that moment, actually, we can start an investigating case, which we will end up by reaching these customers directly, trying to ask them a couple documents to verify their trades. And you can be sure that it's pretty secure way that we make these sensitive investigations to separate people actually doing a legitimate trade and then the people actually doing money laundering or any other fraudulent actions. So as I said, we have our own methods, but also if any suspected actions, you can just report to us directly with just the name of the P2P trader, any kind of information. Maybe you've been facing with an order with the same person, and then you can just share the order ID with us, names. So right on that moment, we are starting the investigation directly with your claim.
All right.
Great.
just to add to what Yabu said, and I'm sure he made mention of it while he was going through his presentation. Do not, and I'm stressing that do not make payment to an account that is different from the name that the seller or buyer has provided. There's a reason why we always reiterate this fact. Every trader on P2P has done their verification on our system. Okay, so if you make payment to a different account that somebody has provided, what it means is, or you receive payment from an account that is different from what is on the person's account. What it means is, if there's an investigation issue, there's no way we can trace that account to the person that might have made that payment. Okay, there's no way we can, because the names will be different and the details will be different. All right. If the person uses his own account to make a transfer and then there's an issue relating to that, obviously, if when you make a report and then investigations are going on, and you even involve the local authorities, we can then provide you with every information regarding to that user, and then it can be used to trace the person, and then whatever sanction the law deems fit will be put in place. All right. So most importantly, which is where the scammers take advantage of people. They want to make payment to a merchant. He just receives the money. He does not check if the name of the person that paid him matches with the name of the person he's trading with. Okay, so always be very, very, very careful of that. All right.
Okay. Let me ask one. Let me go to the chat. I see a lot of questions on the chat. Emmanuel, let me show his question. Is asking specifically in relation to price changes again. So he said, I've noticed that some sellers immediately change their price once you click on the ad. If you're not very careful, you will fall for the trap. And here, the trap could be that there could be price change, exorbitant price change. So the question is, what are we doing about this? And I would like to first ask, have we noticed this? If yes, how are we trying to, guide against this?
Okay, I guess I can take this one. All right. Price change. So this is he's not actually referring to what you're talking about, Ben. So this is a situation whereby somebody has decided that he wants to place their ad to sell USDT for, say, let's say 600 naira, and then upon clicking on the ad, you realize that the price changes to maybe 520 or 550. Okay, which is exactly not the price you want to sell your asset at. So in this kind of situations, right, there's what is called floating ads on the system, right? So somebody has put a range for the prices he wants to buy assets at. So he can, so the person can say maybe within the range of 550 to 600, right? And then as the market moves, his price changes. It might be at 600 now, or come down to 570, go to the lowest at 550, within those periods. So if you're making a trade with that person, and at the point of the time you selected this trade, it was at a particular price, particular price, and then when you selected the trade, it had dropped. All right. In that case, what we now use the 10% rule. All right, we use the 10% rule. If the price that you've selected is not 10% lower than the market price, or 10% higher than the market price, then the trade is good for you to go ahead with. However, if it is lower, then we can ask you to refund the buyer, and cancel the trade, or not make payments if it's the other case round. However, there are some people that the floating ad case is not the case. They actually wait to manipulate the price. That means they are changing their price at every few minutes or every few seconds, just so that they can catch some people unaware. We are very much aware of this, and we're taking every step to remove them from our system. If you get caught in such a trade, you can also report it. Like I said earlier on, if somebody does something to you, he definitely has done it to someone else, And then when you report such an issue, we can go through the person's account and details and check for precedents. If that is the case, the person gets taken off the system immediately. Okay, so what you can do to avoid such a trap is, when you are trading on the platform, be very, very watchful of the pop-up messages that come up on the app. If the price has changed as at the time you wanted to, there will be a pop-up that will tell you, oh, this person has changed price. Do you still want to go ahead or not? Some people don't read these things. They don't look at it. They just click and go ahead until when they enter the trade, they now realize that, oh, this is not the price I wanted to sell my product at. All right. So just be very careful. And if at all you find yourself in such a trap, just raise an appeal. The CS agent will pick it up, and then we'll do the needful.
All right. I think that makes a lot of sense, David. Thank you so much, because we've been having a few of this kind of complaints, and it makes sense that we have like a solution to this. So if you find yourself in this situation, please do well to reach out to the support team at Binance, and we would find how to resolve these problems. Most of the time, we expect that you report these users, because we expect that these guys are, they like a ring. So they spend time practicing this act and trying to, sabotage the system. But if you can report, if you can do your due diligence to report, and also drop a very bad feedback, on their channel, it will dissuade others from, trying to trade with them in the near future. This particular case, I'm going to ask one more question. I actually laughed when I saw the question, because, to be honest, you would see you would see a lot of people using or putting this on their platform. So you see, like, merchants are stating that they charge 100 naira fee, especially in this region, right? How what is this, and how do we solve this problem?
Okay. So this is actually an issue, and I mean, usually the next thing we do is block them. Like, you can't, if you continue charging fee, you can't trade on our platform any longer, right? But there are quite a number of people, and it doesn't apply to only merchants alone, even users as well. They all want to charge. They want to charge fee. They want to take 100 naira. They want to take 100 naira. So, I mean, like we said, always look at the terms and conditions of the person that is posting the ads. If you're not comfortable with that, don't go into the trade with the person. Okay, don't go into the trade with the team. Be rest assured that we would find the person and it will be blocked from the system. We would always find them. Do you understand? There's a team that is in charge of sorting these kind of things out, taking them off the system. So we would always find them. We would always find them.
Makes a
I
lot
mean,
of sense.
you can't stop them, but then we'll find them and we'll take them off the system. So first things first, don't go into a trade with them. Okay, don't go into a trade with them. And if you have made the mistake of not reading terms and conditions, you're in the trade with them, and you don't receive your money completely, just raise an appeal. Raise an appeal. You will either be asked to refund the money back to the person, or the person to complete the payment. All right. Yeah.
All right. I think we are coming to quite like the end of this. There are a lot of questions, guys, from the community. Like the community always has questions to ask. So I want to compile like four questions into one, and just try to see if we can ask all of them at once. So I would start off with, let me see. I'll start off with the first one. The first one is does Binance have, I think I have an answer to this one. Does Binance have like a WhatsApp community? Um, Hold on. Let me quickly clear this. Okay, so does Binance have a WhatsApp community where they teach about P2P? The answer to that question is no. Binance only have Telegram communities where you can join and ask, get feedback or ask questions to our admins on the channel. Please only join the verified TG communities. I've posted the links before. Scroll up to find them if you're just joining the call. Number two, how can we connect our accounts to the available simplest payment methods? Right? When Sean was illustrating, he showed us how to plug to do like that connection. So basically, you go into your Binance account and then you click on add payment method. Once you add a payment method, you'll be prompted to show to select which of them you want, either via bank, mobile money, or whichever payment method that suits you depending on your region. The third question is, you sell your assets and payment is made, but the counterpart claims they did not receive the amount. What do you do? Like Deji and Yavuz have said time and time again, once these kind of situations are what you experience, quickly open an appeal and then let a CS agent jump in to settle the dispute. So what the CS agent or the dispute resolution agent will be doing is inquiring from the other party, hey, let me see your bank statement, and inquiring from you as well, let me see your recent bank statement. Once those two documents are provided, it is easy for the dispute agent to rule in the favor of who is kind of like innocent. The fourth question is, the fourth question, let me see, let it scroll. What is the minimum trade to be done to get started? I'm guessing this person is asking this question in relation to the merchant program. Let me add Olua Sheung here. Sheung, do you want to touch on this last question? What is the minimum, trade? Should we say trade to be, or what are the criteria? Let me rephrase the question. What are the criteria to jumping on board the Binance merchant program?
Okay, so this criteria it varies depending on the region you are. Like you are aware that this is an African AMA. What we look at in Nigeria is different from what we look at in Ghana, and also different in Kenya and of course South Africa. But one thing that is static across the board is the completion rate. Your completion rate must be above 19%. Now, I said earlier when I was presenting that the metrics you see, which I displayed, are very, very real. As much as they are real, they can also not be manipulated. We have both technology and humans that intervene to ensure that they are not manipulated. So it has to be real. You have to be legit. You have to build your credibility and your profile legitimately. You try to do anything funny, it will not get you closer to where you want to be, to get you out of the system. So that's it. But I'll tell you that you should be looking to do, the moment you are able to do over 500 trades, you are closer or qualify whatever region you are. The moment you are able to do 500 trades, either you are already qualified or very close to becoming one. That's the way it is currently.
Great stuff. I mean, the answers we've provided today, I feel satisfied. You know, I'm thinking from the perspective of the attendees today. I feel very satisfied because this conversation has been very, very detailed. I want to specially appreciate everyone who made our time to be on the call. I want to especially appreciate Yavuz from the Binance CS team. I want to appreciate David from the Binance P2P dispute resolution team. I want to appreciate Oluwaseun from the business and growth team for the P2P side. And I want to appreciate Olubumi, the Binance affiliate guy, at Africa. And last but not the least, we have Joseph also from the Binance P2P side. This team is like the best. Thank you so much for putting this together. Any last words before we allow everyone go take a rest? Sean, let's start with you. Very quickly, 5 seconds, and then we'll say our goodbyes. You're muted,
Sean, you're
Sean.
muted.
We are passionate about your safety in Binance. We want to ensure that you are safe at all times and you never fall prey of any form of scam. And you should have the same confidence in us. And what it means is that take everything we have said to you to the latter. And then if there's anything you're ever in doubt of, there's no better place to come to than the customer support. You are going to get the correct and the verified information from there. Don't speak to your friend only. Don't speak to anybody outside Binance. Just speak to the customer support. That is the only way you can be safe. Thank you.
Cool stuff. Thank you, boss. Thank you, Sean. Let's go to Joseph. Joseph, do you want to unmute yourself and say hi? Okay, while we wait for Joseph, let's go to David. David, Yavuz, Olubumi, that's the order, and then we say bye.
Okay. So, well, I don't have much to say. I just want to remind you guys that trading on Binance is simple, easy, and it's sweet. Okay. Just avoid the things we talked about, charging fees, um, um, making mistakes in your payment, paying to third-party payments, just do the right things and you have fun trading on the platform and you make money as well if that's your intention as well. So, I mean, crypto is is the way forward. It's just so sad that most of African countries are yet to buy into it, but I know it's just a matter of time, it's just a matter of time. So the fact that you are early starters, gives you a much better advantage than people that would come in later on. So, trade, have fun, and you'll be fine.
Great. Thank you so much. Yavuz, go ahead, please.
Thank you so much, Ben. I mean, thank you for this occasion. It was pretty amazing to reach out to you guys, answering your questions, and just want to let you know that Binance CS team is at your service anytime, 24 hours, 7 days for any unwanted situation, or even if you just want to get any information, get a bit deeper about crypto, about P2P. We are here for you, and we would like to see you in our platform more and more. Thank you so much.
Thanks, boss. Who else has not said hi? Bumi?
Myself. Yeah, so I think this was a very enlightening session. Even I myself, I picked up a number of things that I'm going to inform my community about. So another thing I'll just say is that all the links to our communities are already on the chat. So you please try as much as possible to join our Telegram communities. And some of these things that we've spoken about, you can get them on Binance Academy. So just go to academy.binance.com. And this is especially for the newbies, for the starters. There you get every information about crypto, about P2P, and about blockchain technology generally. So thank you very much. I'm glad everybody was able to join, and I hope you learned a lot. Thank you, Ben.
Thank you. So sadly, I should have announced this earlier, but I think it skipped me. But obviously, Binance's meetups or AMAs are not complete without giveaways, right? And Sheun says we are not going to go off the call except we allow the P2P team do their giveaway. And just because we didn't announce this earlier, we might tweak the tax a bit. So simple thing, follow us on Twitter, um, tweet about this AMA using the hashtag Binance P2P. I'm creating a campaign right now, Binance P2P AMA, right? So that way we will track engagements and see the people with the highest engagements will be the ones to split the $500 BUSD from the P2P team. Show has that. You're muted again.
That's awesome. Anything to give back to our people. We are not,
Sure.
whatever session we have is not complete without a giveaway. And we can't afford to change that now. Thanks, Ben, for
Great.
doing this.
Great stuff. So we'll track on Twitter. Join our Telegram channel first, tweet about the event, and then use the hashtag Binance AMA, Binance P2P AMA, and then we'll track the engagement. The people with the highest engagement will be retweeted by us, and we'll request for their BUIDs and share the rewards afterwards. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time. Till we come your way next time, stay pumped. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.